Hello again, everybody. Joe Piscopo, MTV Sports. The big story tonight, guest VJs, rock stars, actors, no, legends, baseball. Let's take a look. Both number one, both New York Yankees. 5 letters, first names. 6 letters, last names. First names begin with B. Last names begin with M. Coincidence? Astounding. Tonight, Bobby Murcer, Billy Martin, guest VJs, 10 favorite videos, baseball tips.
Baseball tips? Who is this guy?
I don't know. Joey's got some kind of an Italian last name.
Joe Prosciutto?
Prosciutto?
No.
Everybody wants to be a sports broadcaster, just like you and I, Billy.
I know, Bobby, but it takes a lot of experience and time.
Let's play ball.
Oh, no, jerk. Let's go to Billy Joel.
I tried, guys. It was enough.
You were all right, Park. You were all right.
Billy.
Very good. That was Billy Joel with For the Longest Time. How about that, Bobby? You know that guy?
Sure do. He's a great New York Yankees fan, Billy. In fact, he comes in the stands and sits quite often with a disguise on once in a while, so, you know, people won't bother him. He gets a chance to watch the ball game.
He does. Did he ever come dressed as an umpire out here?
I'm glad you asked that. Remember 2 years ago, the umpire that threw you out of the ball game? That was Billy Joel.
I knew it looked like a stranger out there.
Did he talk funny?
He did. Had a little lisp.
You did, really? This is the Guest VJ Hour coming to you from Yankee Stadium, and Billy and I are going to talk some baseball next. Hey, Billy, you ever been up here before?
No, Bobby, this is way up, I'll tell you.
Oh, hey, looky. You know what? You can even see home plate from it. Can you imagine somebody second-guessing you from up here?
I can't believe it, Bobby. I can hardly see the field. Never mind second-guess the manager. Boy, this is really up in the air. Hey, Bobby, is that Joe up there?
Hey, Joe Piscopo, eh?
Buddy?
You know, he always gets the good seats here, doesn't he?
He must know somebody here.
When you're a star, you get all the good seats.
I guess. Bobby, look at this. How about that? The old subway.
That reminds me of the Subway Series back in the olden days. You had the opportunity to play in those. The Dodgers, the Giants, the Yankees. That must have been a lot of fun.
They were, Bobby. They were really tough series, too. Those 3 great center fielders, Mays, Mantle, and Duke Snyder over there, and all those nice tomatoes being thrown at our bus every time we went over to Brooklyn, you know, little things like that.
You know, I think it's about time for another Subway Series. The Yankees and the Mets, it could be the year.
I think so. I think the Mets are playing great. They had great pitching, and I hope the Yankees get in there to play them. I think it's the best thing that happened to New York to have those 2 teams in there.
I do, too. The fans and New York really deserve it again.
They certainly do.
Well, these guys aren't from New York. They don't play baseball, but they do play some great music. This is Level 42. Allie Campbell out in front of UB40 and Red Wine. Hey, Billy, been a lot of talk about you having some dislikes with umpires in the American League. Umpires having some dislikes about Billy Martin. Do you really dislike umpires?
No, I don't, Bobby. In fact, I get along with them real well. I give my argument like all managers do, and get in and get out and try to be like them. Don't carry it over the next day.
Well, I mean, say, for instance, there's a controversial play at first base. Do you, have you already made up your mind you're going to get in an argument when you go out there to discuss the call?
No, not really. What I look for is if they're out of position when they're making the call. When I see that, then I jump them, and you're teaching them at the same time that you know the rules where they should be positioned.
Do they know the rules?
I say most of them do, but there are some who fake it.
Now, listen. Do you like any umpire at all?
Yes, I do. There's some out there that I like an awful lot. Phillips, Palermo, Kaiser. I mean, these guys are outstanding. They've been my friends for years. You know, Bobby, when you go out to the mound a lot of times, and sometimes you go out there just to talk to the umpire. Like, I'll go out there and make the umpire come from home plate up there. If I have anything to say, where maybe I think he should be calling pitches a little bit more our side.
Yeah.
I'll voice my opinion. Now they get a little smarter. When I used to go out there, they'd stay back at home plate. They didn't want to come out and talk to me. I don't know why.
You were luring them out there, right?
I was trying to sneak them out there, yeah.
Well, listen, talking about going to the pitcher's mound. When you go out to take out a pitcher, have you already got your mind made up that he's finished, that he's not going to pitch anymore?
That's correct, Bobby. Way back when I was managing in the Army, I was the manager and the center fielder, and I went to take the pitcher out and put myself in relief, and the shortstop talked me out of it, and the next guy hit a home run. I said, from that day on, I'll never do it again. I never have.
Okay. Coming up, a video by yet another big Yankees fan.
Listen here. He went far enough for me.
Don't you be intimidating me.
I'm not intimidating you.
Don't you be intimidating me.
I'm not intimidating you, but I'm going to tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, he went enough.
Well, that's good enough for me.
Okay.
But sometimes get some help on it, too, all right?
All right, buddy.
That's the rule.
You did get in a few scrapes with the umpires, thrown out of a ball game or two, suspended once in a while. What was the biggest fine you ever had to pay?
I think it was around $7,000, Bobby. I got a couple of them. The longer I get thrown out, the fines kept going up. I'm glad I'm out of there now.
You also had to pick up some cleaning bills and some shoe shines along the way, too, right?
I did all that, that's for sure. But, you know, Bobby, I wasn't really at fault all those times.
I know. Whose fault was it?
Look, imagine me bumping an umpire. He's got that big belly protector on him, and he said I hurt him. Can you believe that?
You gotta be kidding me.
No, serious.
The one with the balloon type?
Yeah, I got suspended for that.
Well, I can't believe that's not right.
Well, he said
they
I
should
hit.
pay you.
I think you're right. He actually hurt my chest, let the truth be known.
Oh, maybe we got a lawsuit here.
Maybe I have.
Hey, the boss is here.
Boss? Our boss?
Oh, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, great.
Well, you may have noticed the guy in that video who was around before, Mr. Joe Piscopo.
It's great to be here, guys. A real honor to be with you guys, being a Yankee fan from way back, you know. And it's nice to be here, too. Wow, I got such a thrill with the Yankee monuments and all. You guys still get a thrill walking through here?
I do.
I do, too. I really do. Some of the great players that put on the pinstripes.
Great managers, great owners.
It's amazing. You got Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris and Ruth and Garrick. I got to ask you about one guy. I'm a little embarrassed. I don't mean to gush or anything, but my friends always, ask me to ask you, what was Horace Clark really like?
Oh, you mean old Haas, huh? Mr. Pivotier around the second base bag.
I wish I could have managed him.
Why? Could you have helped him?
I don't think so.
What?
Just amazing, though. It's just something I had to ask. And right now, here's a video that from a guy who wants to play center field for the New York Yankees. Did you know that?
Yeah. John Fogerty,
Fat chance,
center
John.
field.
I thought you was going to say Mercer again. That was Set Them Free from Gordon Sumner, who goes by the nickname of Sting.
Speaking of Sting, the All-Star game is just around the corner. You've been stung a couple of times in the All-Star game. I know you managed a couple of the All-Star games. What was it like?
Well, Bobby, I wasn't too excited about it. I just think it's kind of a little show thing, little ego trip. The National League get a real big kick out of winning that.
They always seem like the National League, if they win the All-Star game, they don't have to win the World Series.
Well, they usually don't win the World Series. I mean, all the years I played, it was fun beating them, They call us the Junior League, but we made them play like juniors.
I played both in the National and the American League All-Star game. It seemed like, the National League did take it a little more serious, but hey, it's a fun time to get together with some of the great ball players.
That's true, Bobby. You meet the real greats in the game, and I used to like to have to take that day off and go fishing for 3 days. Some guys like to play in it. I used to like to go fishing.
Well, either way, it's a good day, and it's just around the corner. Coming up next, I'll tell you what it was like to play for him. I mean, this guy right here. Well-mannered, mild, nice man.
Easy going, yes. And I'll tell you how it was like to manage him. Easy going, never complained, always wanted to play every day.
It was the MTV Guest VJ Hour from Yankee Stadium in New York City. We were talking, Billy, about you being my manager. You're nice and tender and fun-loving, and I didn't believe any of those things that people used to tell me about you, but it reminds me of a story. Back in I think it was 80, somewhere in the early 80s, you had me penciled in left field, first game of the season. And you'd forgotten that I hadn't played left field in over 2 years.
Oh, I forgot about that DH rule, Bobby.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, I enjoyed managing you, too. I'll tell you, you wanted to play all the time. You got the key hits when we needed it. You loved the game of baseball, and you were truly one of the great Yankees that played out there. So it was a pleasure managing you, Bobby.
Thanks, pal.
I mean that.
You're not a bad guy.
Well, talking about bad guys, here's Bad Boy from the Miami Sound Machine.
Taylor of Duran Duran fame, I do what I do. This is a great stadium, Billy, and there's been a lot of great plays happening. Anything come to your mind?
Well, I think that great catch by Gianfrido off of Joe DiMaggio right out here, that was an outstanding catch, and I've seen a lot of great plays out here, Bobby.
Well, Carl Yastrzemski hit a line drive back in the old stadium in right field. Ron Woods was a right fielder, and Ron went up to catch the ball, and at that time he fell back into the stands, and I was playing center field. So I went over to look to see if Ron was all right. He was knocked out cold. The ball was off to the side. The glove was off to the side. So I jumped in the stands. I put the glove on his fingers. I put the ball in the glove. The umpire ran out there, and he goes, "He's out of there." And poor Ronnie, he was out colder.
That's the way to play the game, I guess.
Hello,
Hello again, everybody. Joe Piscopo live, MTV Sports. The big story, big questions. Will Billy Martin manage team in '86? New York Subway Series. Has either of these two guest VJs ever recorded song?
You're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. Tell me.
Joe Piscopo live at
Tell me that
MTV.
your sweet love never dies.
Real good, Bill.
Yes, that circle in my pocket that you see is there 'cause I'm dipping skull and I wanna be. And Lord, don't forget when you come take this man, don't let me go without my skull 'cause I know that I'll be damned.